LinkedIn and YouTube together. This is a live, so I'm going to start doing this a little bit. I used to do go live every day, actually. Many years ago, when I was a live streamer, I went live every day. My listeners and audience were small business owners, and the thing that I would do was I would actually start the week off right. We would call it starting the week off with intent. And so every Monday, I would go live and we would talk about some of the challenges that we're facing us as business owners. And we would talk about just almost like healthy perspectives on work, life, things like that. So it was a really great way to start the week. And the reason why I started doing it was because I realized that Monday mornings I was waking up and I was just so, ugh, right? I was like, ugh, I don't want to wake up. I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay in bed, roll over, snuggle, do whatever it is that's necessary to not get up. But like at a certain point, I thought to myself, I don't want to wake up like this. Like forget about like whether work is hard or not, or whether something I have to do is hard or not, right? Which is those are things that happen. I don't want to feel this icky, right? That was my thing. I don't want to feel this icky. So, but I also hate change. Like, whoa, do I hate change? Which is interesting for somebody who is a change manager, but I do, in fact, dislike change. And and I'm actually wondering if I'm even live at this moment. I just realized I've never actually. Oh, there we go. I am totally live at this moment on LinkedIn. So, so anyway, the reason why I started to do. Oh, there we go. There we go. I actually have to press the go live button. I've heard that. I've heard that's a thing that we may need to do. Okay. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. My name is Manessa Konecki, and I am testing out my live streaming right now. So many years ago, when I was coaching, I coached for many years, coaching business owners, coaching professionals, and the thing that we really worked on was mindset and approach to our day-to-day lives. And what happened in terms of my live streaming was that there was a time where I didn't live stream. Okay, so I wasn't live streaming and I was waking up every Monday, and tell me if this resonates with you, where you wake up on a Monday and you're just, ugh, you're like, I'm so tired. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to go to work today. Whatever it is that's going on, you're just not feeling the greatest at that particular moment in time. And everything feels like a giant effort. So here, let me actually put this up on my, oh, I'm going to move it up here. There we go, to this screen over here. And it's fabulous. So I have like fabulous. There we go. So there we go. So many years ago, so I was waking up with a bad attitude like all the time. And I realized that I didn't want to wake up like that anymore. And I mean, that can be tough, right? So it's not that I was like, work is going to get easier or something else is going to get easier. It was more about the fact that I didn't necessarily like that I was waking up agitated and annoyed and frustrated all the time, or like not looking forward to the day. And so I was like, you know what? I want to change my attitude, but I don't like change. And I didn't want to change my attitude because that made me angry. So what I started doing was I started streaming every Monday to sort of like start my day off right, start my week off right. And I would talk about news related to our industry. I would talk about something mindfulness related. Like today, for example, what I want to talk about is this great book. So I don't know if anybody's looking for like a book recommendation, this is the book that I'm going to recommend today. So I was reading this book and it really made me think about intent, and it made me think about how it's been such a long time since I woke up in the morning and went live and did an intent stream. And so I thought to myself, you know, now that like there's like this whole new journey that I'm embarking on, my speaking engagements, my consulting business is back open, so many things are going on. I was like, this is a perfect time to pick up intent again. So the purpose of today's stream is not super intense, because really, no pun intended, because really I just wanted to see, okay, can I go live on YouTube? Can I go live on LinkedIn? Are the systems working? That kind of thing. And yay, it is. So the thing that we're going to talk about briefly is this, right? We'll just do it like a 5-10 minute thing on this, and then we'll wrap up, and that'll be that. Just in time for me to go on with my sister. We're going to do a recording today talking about other support and effort, which, dude, the kind of conversation my sister and I are going to have today is insane because anyway, we'll talk about it later. The live will be up later, but for now, let's talk about this book. So I'm going to probably pull this out in terms of, let me see. I wonder if there's a way for me to like also record this. Like, God, wouldn't that be glorious if I could record and also live stream at the same time? It's like magic. It's like magic. Okay. So Happy at Work. I recently had the privilege of interviewing Robin Garrett about her book, Happy at Work. Now, the second I saw Robin on Instagram, and then I bought her book. And then after I read her book, I was like, oh my God, I absolutely must have you on the podcast, because I think one of the hardest things for us as employees, now I'm coming at this from an employee, this book is actually written for leaders. So if you are someone who is in a workplace as a leader and you feel like your workplace is not necessarily the healthiest, you're maybe not happy, or perhaps you're finding that your staff isn't very happy and you're not sure how to create an environment for them that feels safe, that feels trusting, that feels exciting, that they're enthusiastic to come to work, right? That kind of thing, and you're not trying to do it. Robin really, like, the way that she approached this was quite brilliant, actually. So the first thing she does is that it's not like a long book that you have to read from beginning to end. You read the beginning part that sets the framework for this. These are the underlying reasons why your employees are unhappy. These are the underlying reasons why your employees don't feel like they belong, even though you feel like you're doing all of the things to make them feel like they belong, right? Why aren't they feeling like they belong? She breaks down the difference between what we do as leaders and how it is received on the ground, right? And then she gives you 100 ideas, one after another after another. Each one is about a page, maybe 2 to 3 pages, but they're very short. Do X thing. This is the toxic trait that is the opposite of that thing. And then it sort of describes a scenario and gives you some examples. So whether you were sure, you're like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, I've been there, or you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, she gives you that information to be able to make that determination and then solve the problem, okay? As an employee, though, and this is actually where I found it most powerful, is that it creates a baseline understanding for employees to understand what is an appropriate way to be treated in the workplace, which I think is fascinating. Because when you think about how the workplace is sort of like structured, the way it is you get hired and then whatever happens, and you sort of as the employee have to deal with it, right? So the leadership decides what gets done. They decide the software that gets used. They decide the hours that you work. They decide whether you get a good performance review or a bad performance review, regardless of what your actual performance is, right? There's so many things that you don't have control over, right? That over the years, we get just used to it. And we're like, this is just how it is, right? And we don't actually necessarily realize that the environment in which we're working may not be the safest, healthiest, or most effective environment for us to thrive as human beings. But because you don't know that, I certainly haven't known that. I've worked in many environments over the years, some that are incredibly toxic and some that were incredibly wonderful. But I was not able to look at the toxic environments and say, this is toxic, this is wrong, I need to leave, because I didn't understand those things, right? And we've all had those experiences over our lifetime. How do you determine whether something is toxic or healthy, other than just how I'm feeling inside, right? This book gives you that blueprint. So you can read through this and be like, oh my God, my boss does all of these things. And you may understand at that moment that you actually have a really great working environment. There might be a few things that you want to tweak through to make it more optimal for yourself. On the flip side, you might read this and say, whoa, I got to get out of my workplace. That's fine too, right? That's what's really great about this book, is it is a blueprint for whether you're an employee or an employer, leader or employee. And I actually don't want to say leader, be in a leadership position, because there's plenty of peer leaders. So as somebody in a leadership position. So this is a really must-read book. I think as I read it, I said to her, I said, every single manager who is moving from a space into management and every single employee needs to read this book, because it is the book that will allow you to calibrate your measuring stick for what is and is not appropriate in the workplace. So you can decide if a place is a place where you want to thrive or not. So check this book out. And thank you, Robin Garrett, for writing it because it is absolutely amazing. So I think we've established a few things this morning. First, the Happy at Work book is fabulous, fabulous. And the second thing we established is that I can go live. Look at that. It's like a miracle. All right. I'm going to stop this live stream now because Syra and I are going to hang out in just a few minutes, like literally just a few minutes. I've lost her. Oh, there we're going like 4 minutes, 3 minutes. So we're going to talk. But if you've read this book, I'd love to hear what you thought of it. Like, how did it impact you? And if you haven't read it, go buy it now and then come back and tell me what you think about it later. Otherwise, I will see you next Monday at Intent again, which will be a little bit more streamlined because that will be practice session take 2, where we'll be talking about many other things more related to research administration. I am Vanessa Konecki. If you're looking for more tips to clock out or stop shitting all over yourself, please head over to Manessa.tv and I will see you there. Otherwise, take care and have a great day. All right, now what are we going to do? Okay, we're going to hit end stream here. Bye, everybody. Yeah, I totally want to end my broadcast. Yeah, no, I absolutely want to end my broadcast. Totally. Okay, so that's ended. Okay, so now we're going to go to YouTube. And I don't think there's anything we need to do on YouTube. So I think I'm just going to hit end stream here. La, 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 la. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, now that we're not on LinkedIn, I'm totally fucking swearing. Fuck. Where the hell is